All right, so hello and welcome. I just wanted to go live real quick to talk to you and share some information about a new formula that I've just put up on my website, hyperionherbs.com. And I haven't officially released it and announced it yet because I'm still waiting on some of the product photos to be edited. But I wanted to talk about it here and share a little bit more information about it, share what it is, why I'm selling it, what I've noticed from it, and how to take it. So basically, it is the most effective and strangely potent formula that I've ever tried for anxiety relief, stress relief, generally feeling more calm, centered, balanced, and in the most general and literal sense, feeling just more like yourself, that sort of sensation. And it's something that I've been taking regularly since probably April. And it's one of those things that once I started taking it, it was immediately effective and pretty noticeable. I actually have kind of a funny story about that, which I'll come back to. But I started taking it, and then I let my friends try it, and they all had pretty much the exact same reaction, which was within a couple minutes after taking it, feeling it and being like, dude, can I get a bottle? And I would say 8 people that I let try it all had that same exact reaction, and they've all bought bottles and they've all been taking it regularly since about the same time that I have. So to the funny story that I just mentioned about when I first got this formula back in April or something was the package had just gotten delivered, and I was meeting up with a girl I was dating at that time to basically have like a breakup conversation, which is generally like a stressful, not that pleasant, kind of, obviously uncomfortable type of conversation, but of course necessary. But right before that, my package arrived, so I was like, should I take this right now? So I just tried one capsule, because I had never taken it, so I wasn't really expecting it to be so strong and effective. Long story short, that was the most chill, the most relaxing, and the most calm sort of breakup conversation that I'd ever had with anyone that I'd ever been dating. And then the rest of that day, like, I felt really pretty good, but it was kind of confusing because I felt on the background, obviously, a tinge of sadness and, kind of remorse and all those normal emotions you would go through for a breakup. But then at the same time, I felt actually really calm and relaxed. And I felt my chest and that my heart and my lungs actually just relaxed quite a lot. And then just kind of enjoyed the rest of my day, and then I woke up the next morning like I had slept really well. And then another story to illustrate sort of how well and surprisingly this stuff works is usually I get sort of like pre-flight or pre-travel kind of anxiety, which I think is somewhat normal if you have to wake up super early to go to the airport the next day, and then you're going to be traveling all day, or in this case I was flying internationally, so I had like a 9-10 hour flight ahead of me. Usually that would kind of give me less than good sleep the night before, because you're kind of like, your brain's just sort of knows what you have to do, so you're sort of projecting in the future and you're kind of already traveling even though you're not traveling. At least that was normally what I would experience. Except in this case, I took the formula and just fell asleep. Woke up the next morning feeling great, being like, oh yeah, I have to fly. I gotta fly today. I just completely kind of forgotten about it and just zoned out and really relaxed. And it's been similar for all of the other trips that I've taken since then. So the point of this is that it's generally these situations which for me personally would have been imbalancing or generated anxiety or stress, but were super calm. And my friends and people that have been taking it have been saying the exact same thing. My friend just last week was texting me from the airport going through security being like, dude, the airport's a piece of cake. Like being on this formula, you feel so good and just sort of calm and normal, and stress and things don't really affect you in the same way. So it's pretty incredible stuff. I think it's gonna sell really well, and I hope it does, because I hope that it really will help people, because stress, anxiety, tension are the things that really honestly destroy people's life and their quality of life in a way that is a little bit noxious and a little bit slow going. So if you want to learn more about it or learn what it is, the link for the product should be below the video. Either when the video is done or even right now, there should be a link to the actual product page and description, which has more of the information about what it actually is. I'm just sharing a little bit of anecdotes and kind of setting more of a context for what it is, and just kind of rambling about my own experience. So yeah, those are a couple stories, and yeah, I mean, I really just can't say enough good things about it. So you're saying, what is the most powerful natural antidepressant? Is basically the formula that I'm talking about right now. So I guess you're in the right place at the right time. Check the link below. I would say get a bottle and try it. So basically how you would take this is very simple. Here I have 2 capsules, which would be, depending on where you're starting or what you're feeling, this would be like a full day's dosage. But I recommend starting with 1 capsule. Yeah, we ship to the UK and internationally all the time, no problem. Basically, you can just swallow the capsule as one does, but I think the most potent and effective way to actually take it is to open the capsule up in a couple ounces of hot water, give it a quick stir, smell all of the aromatics coming out of it, and then drink it that way and taste it. The taste is slightly bitter, but more like cinnamony and cardamom-y type flavor, which I think I like the flavor, I quite enjoy it. And when you taste it and smell it in this way, you'll probably feel it a lot more quickly and a lot more noticeably. And one capsule is a potent and effective dosage. If you can't do that for whatever reason, you can just take the capsule. But honestly, I don't think that is quite as noticeable because it has to go through your GI system and get processed, and it's just a much slower way of taking things. But I have people that do that because they, for whatever reason, can't do the taste, and they still notice the benefits. But to be honest, I've never actually done that myself. I always have either just open it up in some water, or I'll just open it up on my tongue and swish it and eat it that way, because I think that's a more effective and potent way to do it, because you're actually tasting it and smelling it. And I think 1 capsule is a good dosage. If you need to take like 2, then go up to that. If you need to do 2 twice a day, that's fine. In terms of when to take it, honestly, it just depends when you feel like you need it. If you do it at night before bed, that can definitely help to support sleep. But even if you just do 1 in the morning, that will still also usually affect and improve your sleep quality. It's one of those things that you don't really need to mass dose. I would not recommend taking more than 6 capsules in a day. And if you are on any type of medication, I would use caution, and definitely, yeah, use caution, use common sense, work with your healthcare practitioner in that regard, because that's a whole ball of wax that you really need to unpack with someone who's qualified to do such a thing. What is this question? How long does the high last? I guess if you consider feeling normal and balanced and centered and grounded high, then sure, but I wouldn't really call it a high, because it's not really a high, because a high implies obviously a low. So I don't really think that's the most valid way to look at it, but I get what you mean. And it's noticeable, like for example, I've been doing the formula regularly since April, May, as have many of my friends, and it's led to permanent differences even when I stopped taking it, because I had, I think, a month or so where I just didn't take it because I didn't really feel like I needed it or wanted it, and I didn't have any sort of like backward progression. I still just felt pretty good, and I just felt like I didn't even really need it or notice anything, or notice any like anxiety or stress to feel like I needed it. But then obviously a little bit after that, other things arose and started to happen. I started to feel a bit stressed by things, got back on it and was like, oh man, I've been missing this. So yeah, I highly recommend it. It is one of the most, if not the most potent and effective herbal formula that I have tried to date. And I don't say that lightly or casually. It is more effective than any of the wild ginsengs or the spirit reishis or any of the high ticket, high priced, super rare herbs that I've tried over the years. This is more effective and potent than those things at a fraction of the price. So I would highly recommend it. Let's see, questions. Can you become tolerant to it? No, I have not noticed that, nor have any of my friends. Because basically I have had about 10 people taking it alongside myself this whole time, and everyone's been loving it and noticing benefits from it. So it's strangely effective, but non-habit forming and non sort of it just, we're talking about basically trying to rebalance and help the body find a better sense of homeostasis and functioning. So that's a different mechanism than like drinking a cup of coffee or taking a stimulant or a drug, which is just boosting some sort of chemical effect or giving you some adrenal-based response, which over time will be depleting to the body and will sort of go away because your body will become chemically adapted to whatever that dosage is. Whereas this is actually supporting your body and nourishing it, which it's kind of like food and exercise and water. It's like, do you really get dependent or adapted to that? Not really. So yeah, now my my live stream has frozen. So that's a cue that I need to get off here. Plus I have to go pick up a friend at the airport. So check out the link below. I highly recommend grabbing a bottle. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.